Hello everyone, bringing you a video today for the 75th anniversary of VJ Day. I have to say it's been very nice this year to see that with the 75th anniversary a lot more attention has been paid to VJ Day, both on social media and in media generally. Often forgotten, often left in the shadow of VE Day as it very much was at the time. Obviously the 14th Army gained their nickname of the Forgotten Army with very good reason. My small contribution to this is looking at the recreation of the kit of a typical British infantryman very much in the latter months of the campaign in Burma in 1945. There was still sporadic fighting beyond Mandalay. This sort of petered out in August, early August, so we're looking at a soldier in that sort of time frame. The kit and equipment is actually not that different in this instance from other theatres of war, obviously in Europe prior to VE Day, several months previously. As we look at this, you'll see there's not that much specialist equipment being carried and worn, and this is fairly typical of infantry very late on. The war in Burma had become increasingly mechanised, the use of armour was increasing, generally providing close support to the infantry, and also a lot more motor transport and so forth was available as well, which somewhat lightened the load carried by the men. The weapon carried is the rifle number 4. The rifle number 1 was still commonly issued in the Far East at this time, but the British Army of course had made the decision to phase it out and replace it with the rifle number 4, so the rifle number 4 was becoming increasingly common in the Far East at this time. The basic uniform consists of Indian-made clothing. Of course, a cotton jungle green battle dress uniform had been introduced for issue in the Far East. The trousers from that uniform were being worn here, and they were essentially standard at this time. But the Airtex battle dress blouse, forming part of this suit, has been replaced in this instance by an Angola wool shirt of Indian manufacture. The battle dress blouse was not popular, it tended to ride up, and so both the wool shirt seen here and Airtex jungle green bush jackets were commonly issued at this time and far more popular than the battle dress blouse. Headgear consists of the standard Mark II steel helmet, and this is adorned with an Indian-made helmet net. Moving down to look at the web equipment, the web equipment is essentially worn in standard battle order. At the front here you can see the basic pouches. All of the web equipment shown here is of Indian manufacture. A bandolier carrying a further 50 rounds of .303 ammunition for the rifle is carried over the right basic pouch. On the left hip, the spike bayonet for the rifle number 4 is carried. There's been no need to modify this frog in order to carry the thin scabbard of the spike bayonet, just due to the fact that it's manufactured rather small. It won't in fact take a sword bayonet, but quite neatly carries a spike bayonet. On the right hip, the water bottle is carried in its carrier, and as you can see here, this is a bit worse for wear from use in the tropics. The cotton cord attaching the cork having rotted off in the tropical conditions, it's been replaced with a piece of bootlace, which itself has also deteriorated. On the back, the soldier carries the haversack from the 1937 pattern web equipment. Of course, this is in battle order, so the haversack is worn on the back. And this contains essentially standard contents: the mess tins, hold all, the cardigan, and most likely a cap comforter. Many of these items will, of course, be of Indian manufacture as well. Moving down, we have something quite specific to issue in the Far East, this being a Monsoon Cape, which has been rolled and attached to the back of the belt using the supporting straps from the pack. And we'll talk about this in a little bit more detail in just a moment. Moving down, we can see here the footwear, and this consists of the standard general service boots on issue to the British Army at the time, and these are worn with ankle puttees, which were quite common in the Far East at this time. So there we are, that was a run through of the kit and equipment of a typical British infantryman at this late stage of the campaign in Burma. We'll go on now to have a closer look at the Monsoon Cape. Of course, Burma in the teeth of the monsoon, Mountbatten's edict having been that the men would fight through the Monsoon Cape was a very important bit of kit to give some rudimentary protection against the worst of the weather. So we can see two methods of wearing the Monsoon Cape here. On the left, we have the Monsoon Cape worn on the back using the built-in straps, which are part of the design. It's not simply a cape that you drape around yourself, it's a little bit more complex than that. And on the right, we have the cape pulled round to provide rain protection. First of all, we'll have a look at the detail of how it is worn on the back when it's not actually required. So when the threat of rain is there and you want to be able to don the Monsoon Cape very rapidly, you can do so. It can be worn draped down the back, as you see here. It can be worn over equipment, of course. And this is facilitated by the straps, which are worked into the design. These attach at the shoulder, and in this instance, they're looped underneath the arms, crossed at the back, and then you can see lower down the straps come around the waist and have buttoned around the waist. There is also a button where the straps cross in the small of the back. This is something we'll have a look at in detail in a future video, of course. And here you can see the cape pulled round and buttoned in front. It's very easy just to pull it over the shoulders, button it down the front, and there you are. It's providing some protection from the rain. The design also includes buttoned openings for the arms, and as you can see, with these unbuttoned, the arms are given enough freedom of movement to handle a weapon whilst wearing the cape. So there we are. I do hope you found that interesting. If you'd like to see other uploads going forward, then please do consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. And whether you're newly subscribing or you've already subscribed, please do make sure you hit the little bell, the little notification button down below, which of course will alert you when I upload future videos. If you really like my uploads and you'd like to support the channel, you can. There is both a Patreon link and a PayPal link down below. And as ever, a massive thank you to those who support the channel using those two methods. It's greatly appreciated, as I always say. If you'd like to follow the channel on social media and see photographs of the recreation that's been shown in the video today, you can do. There's Facebook, Instagram and Twitter all linked down below. And if you would like to make contact but you don't really use social media, there is of course an email address down there as well. But that's everything I wanted to cover in this video, so until next time, bye for now.